I told the doctor that also. And I told the Lord, I said, this is how you're going to take me? This is how you're going to take me? This is what it is. And I left it in his hands. I felt a peace come over me whenever I told him that. And when I went into the doctor's office the next morning, the first thing he said, we have problems here. I said, I know. He said, you know what it is? You don't have to tell you, do I? I said, no, you don't have to tell me. I know. I know what it is. And he said, we need to get something done immediately. And so we were running the test to see how, make sure, just see how far it is spread and everything. And everything they found earlier that week, by the end of the week, it wasn't there anymore. God, he took it off.
Yes.
Because he knew I was going to stand my ground. I belonged to him, and that's the way it was. And he touched me, and I will never forget that. I could be where my sister is today if I had let that go by me and grasp it and said, okay, I've got this, and I'm going to keep it. I couldn't do it. I know God. I knew him then, and I know him now, and I'm not letting go of him. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Run that x-ray again, so I know it was there, but it ain't there now. Not sure it's there now.
It wasn't there now.
That's what happened to my grandmother. She had
Praise God.
a little behind her heart. It's like rare, like a, I don't know, like a little thing sticking out. I don't know what it was, but it was hurting her, and I mean, not physically hurting her, but it wasn't supposed to be there. They did an x-ray, and they did x-ray, seen it, scheduled her for surgery the next morning. They wanted to have another x-ray before they did the surgery. The whole church prayed. They turned towards the hospital way, lifted their hands, and lifted my grandmother's name up, and they did the x-ray the next morning. It was gone.
There was only 5 people worried about this besides me and the doctors. That was my husband. Brother Brown, you met him, and his wife, and brother and sister Love. That was it. I didn't want anybody to have any doubt, and so I didn't tell anybody except the ones I knew that was my friend, and they didn't. And God healed
Took it away, yeah.
I was reading not too long ago in the paper that a woman in Lexington, 20 years old, been to the doctor, and she had throat cancer. I mean, I don't know whatever it was. They couldn't operate on it. You couldn't operate what it was. You could do surgery on it. 3 kids. And she'd been to the doctor, and she's on her way back home from the doctor with her kids. I guess she'd done with her. And she got praying about it, and she bumped it up in the floor. Bumped it out in the floorboards. Took it up, bagged it up, and took it in the test from her. It's cancer. Throat prayer. And that ain't been long ago. I read that in the paper about that. That's something. Anybody else got a prayer request?
Give the Lord a little bit of praise and honor and glory tonight. Not too long back, I went to Mississippi and woke up and I couldn't use my left hand. It just dropped like this and had no movement of fingers. And Sister Harris took me to the emergency room in Jackson and they put a brace on it. And I got back to Ohio and we started running test after test. They did I call it the cattle prod, where they test your nerves, see how the electricals. And that doctor had me in there way past his closing time. And he had other doctors in his office, they just couldn't figure out. My nerves were all shot in the arm. They couldn't figure out, they couldn't even get the right current. He was sitting there turning the juice up and my hand was flopping, but that was the most movement I'd seen out of it. And they ended up putting me I took an MRI and they said, well, we're going to put you in the hospital, and they ran MRI after MRI, and after MRI, I was in that MRI tube 6 hours one day. Still, no, they had 20 doctors in there, could not figure out what was wrong. And I had people praying.
Praise God.
Lots of people praying. And finally, I got aggravated, and I told the doctor, I said, we're not doing nothing here in the hospital, just let me go home. Don't waste my time here if you can't do nothing. So I went home and began to pray about it, and I learned later after my hand started coming back that I think it was God trying to show me I was being a little disobedient. He was getting my attention. Now God don't put disease down on somebody, but took away my hand to get my attention because I was supposed to be focused toward something else, and that was Newburgh. And when I finally got down on my knees and said, well, God, if this is truly what you want, the next morning, I could move those fingers. The following morning, I could move them a little more, and I could control the wrist. And the next day, I had more. And I just went to my I scheduled an appointment to go see my doctor, and I walked in and did all this, and I said, you explain it. He says, we can't. I said, I'll explain it for you. It's God. And I walked out the door.
Praise
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
But
Thank you, Jesus.
The big doctor got a hold of it.
the big doctor got a hold of it. They should have called him in for a consult first off, because he
Yeah.
could have fixed it.
Praise God.
And the nice thing about it, it's free of charge.
Yes, hallelujah.
Yes.
Not a doubt.
Praise God. Turn that up a little bit and before we can hear it, play something. Feel like something. We can play something. Hallelujah.